Hey everybody, we're going to talk about question banks today in Canvas. And over on the left-hand side of any course, you can go to your quizzes button. And then in the top right, you'll see the three dots, which always means more, and click on Manage Question Banks. Now, many of you will only have a question bank called Unfiled Questions. For mine, I've got 107 unfiled questions there. Those are questions that I've created in quizzes that I didn't use the question bank feature for, so it just files them in an unfiled question bank. This 2.4 question bank, I've got 35 questions, and I made that specifically for a quiz I gave last week. If you need to add a new question bank, go ahead and click on Add Question Bank here on the top right. Let's go ahead and click on my 2.4. Now, it looks very similar to a quiz, and I can add a question here. Top right, I can make the type of question that I need. I would recommend for question banks to keep it with multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blanks, or some of the drop downs and things. I would avoid essay questions and file upload questions, and I will tell you why in just a couple minutes. As you make a new question, you can set how many points the question is worth, and you can type in your question and the correct answer, possible answers, whatever you'd like. And then you go ahead and click Update. I'm going to click Cancel here since I've got questions already made. You'll see that a lot of mine are true, false, and multiple choice for this vocabulary quiz. And I've got a total of 35 questions. Okay, so let's get back up to the top. And I can use these questions in a new quiz. I'm going to go back to quizzes. I'm going to make a new quiz. Now here the same details apply. You can put the instructions, make sure that all of these details are set. But then I'm going to come up to Questions tab, and I'm going to click New Question Group. Now this is where the magic happens, folks. If I click on Link to a Question Bank, there's my 2.4 with 35 questions in the bank. I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to say I want, out of those 35 questions, I want 25 questions worth 2 points each. Now, even though I made the questions worth 1 point in the question bank, I can set how much I want them to be worth here. So I'm going to create this group, and then up on the top right, my point total just went up to 50. The nice thing about the question banks is that we can pick these 25 out of the 35 total questions, which means that each student will get them randomly. It'll randomize the test for each person. I'm also going to be using this for retakes because the students won't just memorize the answers of the questions they got wrong, but they will get a new set of questions that they may not have seen before. I think that will also be very helpful for students not to try to cheat, as all students will get a unique test. So let's just preview this by clicking Save. I'm going to preview. Here we've got the true, false, and the multiple choice questions. It picks 25 out of the 35. You can see down here 25 questions, and that's great. Now, what if I want students to still get the same question? If there's a question that I want all students to get, I'm going to click on New Question here. Now, let's say that this is an essay question. It wouldn't be fair to put it up in this randomized because some students would get it and some students would not. But let's say that I want them to tell me what their favorite food is using the conversation questions we've been practicing in Spanish. So I'm going to write, answer the following conversation question in Spanish by writing a complete sentence. ¿Cuál es tu comida favorita? I'm going to make this worth 5 points here. So now I'm going to update the question. I want that to go before the random questions. So now I've got a total of 55 points. 25 questions will be randomly chosen from the question bank, while I've got one question for everyone. I'm going to save that. preview. And here they've got their text box that they can respond, and then the 25 random questions begin. So pretty handy tool. It's a good idea to make the questions in the question bank and import them into the quiz. That way you already have the questions organized in different question banks, which are easy to pull from. Another cool thing that you can do if you want to add individual questions from your question bank, you can use this Find Questions option. You've got your question banks here on the side. So again, if I wanted to choose one from a 2.4, I can choose the question that way. Another good idea here is to have question banks for true-false questions, for only multiple choice, for essay questions, to truly randomize the quiz that students get. You can do that. You can also just choose individual questions that you've already written up. So that is another good option if I want to add that and that one. Then I scroll down, add questions, and it adds those two for all students to see.